wanted to change my life. I wanted to do something better. I got this wristband on. It say lead by example. Like, you got to be the example you want to see in people. Yeah, exactly. Just tell myself that every day. Lead by example, be positive. I'm trying to change the world for real.
10 years ago, ending youth incarceration sounded like a dream or a fantasy. In the matter of just a couple of years, it's become common language, common nomenclature that even the board of supervisors use.
I think that's my life goal, just changing the world one person at a time or 1% at a time.
In Los Angeles, we arrest and incarcerate more young people than anywhere in the nation. 95% of the kids who are in jail are kids of color, black and brown kids, and they're in jail for minor offenses. Our initiative to end youth incarceration as we know it in Los Angeles is all about identifying youth leaders, some of them who have been locked up, some who haven't, and giving them the training and the support that they need to lead a campaign to transform this system.
To end youth incarceration doesn't just mean that, oh, we're gonna stop locking kids up. It really fundamentally means that we are no longer going to say that children are discardable.
One of the ways we've really cheated ourselves is to deprive all of us of the gifts and the strengths and the talents of virtually a whole generation of youth who have been cast aside by a power structure that does not recognize that each of us has a gift to make.
It's like a whole systematic bias, like from the very top all the way down to the bottom.
My dad was deported 3 times. The first time was when I was 5 years old.
From the time I was born up until like a year ago, he'd been in the jail my whole life.
It left us in a real bad financial situation.
My mom, she had to go work overnight, so it's kind of hard for her to actually be there and care for us.
My mom got sick with breast cancer. I was like 15 years old. I was just starting high school myself.
And then a lot of times I wasn't even eating.
We were actually homeless for a little bit.
I was really broke.
Like, I was in the GATE program, stands for the Gifted and Talented Education Program, because I used to score high on those standardized tests. And then once these things started happening, I was going to school less and less, getting stopped by cops all the time, getting harassed.
A lot of times I was walking around with a group of my friends, and they would pull us over, hem us up, have us all against the gate and stuff. And I'd be like, dang, like, we just walking home.
Quan left here one day and he was on a bike. He was pulled over by the police. He didn't have California ID at the time, and so they had given Liquan a citation to come to court for being a kid on a bike.
No matter what he did, no matter how good he was always being harassed and picked on and stereotyped.
Well, I was actually first arrested when I was like 12 or 13. They never asked me any questions of concern or nothing like that, like, well, why are you running from us, or like, why are you out here? Like, never like showed any concern. It was all, they're very angry, very mad.
I think he saw a lot of impacts of the system. And then he got educated about how the system really is, really how things are equipped for people to really fail. You know, it's meant to be that way.
I always wanted them to see Anthony for who he was. They wouldn't. There
was no support for me at all from school, from society. All I was getting was more police contact.
There's a sense of helplessness that comes when you know that you're up against the system.
And I think the material conditions that exist in our communities make it difficult for our young folk to see and pursue opportunity that otherwise exist in more affluent neighborhoods.
Whatever we can do to make sure that children, and particularly Black and brown children and families, don't have to face the fear and the worry that they don't know what's going to happen to their children.
Everybody else looking at us like we just nothing, like.
And here it's just like, they really don't care about you, bro.
You gotta stand up for what you believe in. I passed a Prop 47 to turn all nonviolent felonies into misdemeanors. I didn't feel like it was just for me. I feel like that's selfish. If I go up there and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is what I need. Cause I know it's a gang of us from the same area that's going through the same thing. So I say it's for all of us.
Laquan's an example of transformation. He's an example of what is possible when we make the right investments in people.
My passion in life now is like create economic change for everybody who I come into contact with. Even if I don't know them, like, what can I do or what can I say to help them propel forward? I feel like Liberty Hill, they like a parent too, almost. Like, okay, like we know what you need and we are here to listen. So as long as you know what you need, like, we can help you get that.
To be a philanthropist quite literally means to love humanity. So we can all be philanthropists because we can all love humanity. And really, the way in which Liberty Hill has channeled that love is through social justice.
It's about true liberation for all people. You know, we're not liberating one person, but we're trying to liberate everybody.
One of the ways we're ending youth incarceration in LA is by helping to establish the Office of Youth Diversion and Development. So we wanted a more holistic approach. The Liberty Hill Foundation has been a crucial component to this whole LA movement on ending youth incarceration. Liberty Hill has gathered a bunch of community-based organizations that are doing the work on the ground, getting us together, providing us with the resources and the networks that we need.
We all have to stand arm in arm with these kids and say, we have your backs. They are leading the fight and we are equipping them with the resources they need to win.
I think it's exciting right now that Liberty Hill is willing to step up and serve as a lightning rod for those who would like to contribute to progressive causes and perhaps haven't known how to do that before.
To be an engaged activist, a donor activist, means that you're actually contributing to something that's bigger than you. You're actually involved in changing the conditions that oppress the world.
Contributing to solutions, to not sit back idly, to try to make a difference.
I say this all the time wherever I go. We need love. We need love, for sure. Like, we need so much love to where it's kind of like you don't feel like you alone.